I give it all. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never stop. I give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. Yeah, all that I got, I give it everything. They lost the plot, they think I'm menacing. They wanna talk, but I ain't settling. Circle is tight, feeling like better rains. Whole lot of globetrotting, man, they don't know nada. Bro, gotta show something to me and go harder. So proper, nah, not that, we sure gotta give it all raw now, like Don Dallas. All that I got will never stop. I give it all. Straight to the top, will never flop. I give it all. They won't be rocked, they never blow. I give it all. Whoa, what you say, my man? Give it all. Whoa, hey, give it all, give it all. Whoa, yeah, stand tall, give it all. All that I have, I let it be. Cause nobody's better than me. What do you see? Give it all. What do you think when people look at me? 100 degrees tougher than Booker T. Couldn't agree more, but could it be? I think higher than them all. Truthfully, my pen fire and then some. A body addendum. Take this whole thing for ransom. Give it all I got for attention. Not a mention of life well lived, for instance. Give it all.
Battle the kid is white flag. Not on my level where I stand. Got it, I'm shooting a hot hand. Out of the gym, I was locked out. I failed, the kid was a dropout. I changed the game and it's up now.
from Hillsdale High School on a very snowy and very, very bitterly cold Tuesday evening for non-conference basketball action. The Columbia Raiders from outside of Strongsville, Ohio, travel down on the snowy Interstate 71 to do battle with Wayne County Athletic League member Hillsdale Falcons. We're live from just outside Hayesville, Ohio. I'm Kris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. Welcome, BW.
Listen, can't be more excited. I would watch and talk about basketball every day of the week, Kris. It's the Falcons and the Raiders. It's going to be a big one tonight.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We'll be right back after these messages. You're listening and watching on the OH Report.
Hey, Travis, what's up?
Oh, not much. What's that sound?
Just working on some long overdue improvements here.
Whoa.
Fit for a Hall of Famer. Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Welcome back to Hillsdale High School on the OH Report. Live and free tonight on a Tuesday night. The visiting Columbia Raiders.
The Raiders.
The Raiders, right. I'm looking for Al Davis.
Yeah.
Travel down to take on the Hillsdale Falcons. You're listening and joining us on the Spherion Staffing pregame show. Columbia comes in with a record of 5-5, and they're 3-4 inside the Lorain County 8. Hillsdale 6-3 overall, 2-3 in the Wayne County Athletic League. We've got a good one. Two teams that like to get out and run tonight. Head coach Ben Ferguson and head coach Josh Sheriff for the opposing schools. Brandon, what are you thinking about tonight?
Well, I mean, look, this is a game where Columbia comes on the road against a team like Hillsdale that has lost a couple in a row against a good team. But when you look at Columbia, Kris, it starts with the big man inside. They're young, right? They're coming off two straight, I should say a loss, but they've won 2 out of their last 3. the LC8 is nothing to joke about. The Lorain County League's pretty good, so there's some good talent up there. They had a tough loss to Clearview, but they took care of business against Oberlin and Midview. They're young, but you got a guy in his fourth year in Josh Sharp for the Raiders. But look, when it comes down to it, it's all going to be about the big man, Justin Smith. 6'6", comes in averaging 16 points a game. Look, the most impressive part about this young man is he is a two-sport All-Ohio athlete, football and basketball.
Wait a second. Say that again.
Yeah, two-sport All-Ohio,
Wow.
football and basketball. And it doesn't matter what division you're in, that's impressive. So everything kind of starts and ends with the big fella inside.
On the other side, for the Hillsdale Falcons, head coach Ben Ferguson, we were joking in the pregame off air. We said they've got 13 feet of Coach Luke Biggs, Chris Mims.
That's right.
We're out here. We're going to get a highlight of Brady Kirschbaum. But overall, Coach Ferguson has a 6-3 record in the Wayne County League. They're 2-3. The one thing that this Hillsdale group was looking to do was do battle against Norway. Norway is probably the class of the field, the Wayne County League.
Yeah.
They went up against them their last game and dropped that by a 26-point margin.
Chris, both Norway and Smithville undefeated in the conference, and they are fantastic teams. So you had tough ones there. It kind of gave you a measuring stick, but I will tell you, this Hillsdale Falcons squad is not at full speed yet because of the football season that really dragged. I shouldn't say dragged, but ran into December because of how good and how much success they had. And with only 92 boys in the high school, most of those kids are on the basketball team too. So there's a little bit of a delay of them getting up to speed, full go, and implementing everything they want to implement and what Ferguson does. When you talk about coaches, we have the Coaches Corner. Crestline boys and girls basketball teams Wednesday at 7 o'clock. Features insights from Crestline coaches and players, airing on OH Reports Facebook and YouTube, WQEL, WBCO, and Crawford County Now Facebook.
I'm excited about this one. For those of you joining us, might know this is my old stomping grounds.
Yes.
I'm a graduate of Hillsdale High School. I haven't been back too many times, but I did watch this Falcon squad take on the Cubs, and I let you know about that. We saw a running clock that night when they took on the Cubs here right after Christmas time, and I'll tell you, from watching this Hillsdale squad, they can get out and move, and they like to push the ball, and that starts with their freshman point guard, head coach Ben Ferguson's son, Lowen, 5'5" point guard that can really get it out and push the basketball.
Can't wait to see him in person as a point guard myself. That is the most important position on the court. It all comes down to whether or not the young man can take care of the basketball against some of the pressure from Columbia and to be able to distribute the basketball. He has 2 games with 10 or more assists already, and you're talking about a 5'4" freshman who's leading the way for the Falcons.
And I will tell you, just watch some of these passes that come out of young Ferguson's hand. They will make you scratch your head. It's pretty impressive.
Coach's son, right? And that's what you hope to get out of a coach's son at the point guard position. But when you're running the show as a freshman, that says a lot about your maturity, both on and off the court.
About 25 seconds until the horn goes off. We'll have the national anthem here inside the gym. We'll be right back after that concludes to take care of the rest of the Spirion Staffing pregame show.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Welcome back to Hillsdale High School on the OH Report, live and free for Tuesday night basketball, non-conference edition. The Columbia Raiders and the Hillsdale Falcons. Starting lineups getting ready to be introduced to the home crowd. But first, on this very staffing pregame show, let's get a quick look at the keys to the game. What do you got, BW?
Well, first for the Raiders, right? We're going to start with the visiting Raiders. They're here in the black and the green. The Raiders' keys tonight: keep pace. All right, they have to keep up with whatever frenetic style that you're expecting to see here offensively, defensively from the Falcons, so they have to keep up with that. That's something that sometimes teams struggle with. And then key number 2, which is a basic, and as a guy who coached for a long time, look, you got to hit the boards. You got to limit Hillsdale to one shot. Brady Critchbaum and company in there. But I will say Columbia has a little bit of a size advantage, so it should be to their advantage on the boards, but you always want to try to limit everybody to one shot.
All right, let's get a quick look at Coach Ferguson and the Falcons' keys to the game for them.
Well, the Dale, as you like to call them affectionately, the Dale style. Stay true to what it is that you're trying to do. Don't worry about what Columbia is trying to do. It's an old John Wooden thing. Let's worry about what we do and do it really well. We don't have to worry about what they do. And then the second one, try to win the rebounding battle as they have been most of the season, but against a little bit bigger, stronger team on the Columbia side, it's going to be a challenge.
Let's get a quick look at the starting lineups for the Columbia Raiders. Logan Mange, Carter Dooley, Dylan Fisher, Carter Hess, Justin Smith, and then for the home Falcons, Troy Bennett, Hayden McFadden, Lowen Ferguson, Cale Lewis, and Brady Kirschbaum. Smith of Columbia, Kirschbaum of Hillsdale, center circle. Referee center circle, basketball in hand, getting a quick check with the referees. We are ready to go. And the ball up in the air, and it is controlled by Hillsdale's Cale Lewis and given quickly to Lowen Ferguson, calls a play, and we're under action.
What a great facility this is here. Just a couple years old. Hillsdale, Jeromesville, Hayesville, all of the above.
Kirschbaum into the middle, doing a little spin move. Think he got away with the walk, but left hand off the glass, converted for 2.
Great left hand by Critchbaum inside, using the window and a little bit of full court pressure right off the bat from Coach Ferguson's Falcons.
And Lowen is going to do that. He likes to pressure the ball from about the opposing free throw line all the way down. We'll see how that continues to play out. Here's a trap in the end zone, the baseline, and a turnover for the Falcons. And here we go. The Falcons want to push the basketball. Ferguson off to Cale Lewis. He's going to let a 3-ball go wide open. Book that one, and 5-0 lead for the Falcons early.
All because of the double team down in the short corner right there, and a great job by Hillsdale of trapping as soon as the offensive player turned his head.
Hillsdale playing just like they want to, but they do let him get to the lane. That is number 1, Logan Mange. It does throw it off the glass, no good, and here comes the Falcons yet again. Ferguson is a good job of looking for the pass, but here he goes. They get the ball right back to him, and McFadden goes right to the glass, no good. Rebound pulled down by the Raiders.
That's a good attack of the basket right there, Chris. I like it from the Falcons.
Carter Hess, triple, no good. Rebound is controlled by McFadden, and here comes the Falcons yet again. 5-0 early lead here for Hillsdale.
Yeah, if you're Columbia, you just want to kind of break the seal, and that's sometimes that first basket is one of the most elusive. Sort of take the edge off. Man-to-man so far for Columbia, not anything elaborate or exotic so far.
Ball screen by Kirschbaum, and off to the glass goes Ferguson. Left-hander is converted. 7-0 early for Hillsdale.
Well, another bucket here for Hillsdale, and you'll probably see Coach Scharf call a timeout, but a great start for the Falcons. And really, for the 5'4" Ferguson attacking the basket with no fear and finishing with the left hand.
Look, he's from Hayesville. There is no fear. Here we go. Number 2, Dudley driving in, but kicks it back out, and we've got a 3-ball by Smith. Lets that one go. No good. Draws iron, and Cale Lewis pulls that rebound down quickly to Ferguson. They want to push.
Yeah, like we said in the pregame and the keys to the game, stay true to your style of the game. Nice job by Ferguson there attacking, but staying under control.
Lewis has an opportunity to take another 3, but he looks for Kirschbaum down low, and Smith does find him, but nonetheless, Kirschbaum off the glass, left-handed. It's a 9-0 lead.
And what Brady did best there was settle, right? He caught the ball, he settled. It would have been really easy to kind of force up a quick one underneath, but he settled. He got his bearings, got his footwork in order, and went up with the left hand and scored.
At this point, Columbia's wondering how we're going to get on the goal. Here's Dudley for a 3-ball. That's caught nothing, not even any iron or nylon. Here comes Hillsdale.
And so far, Hillsdale's dominating the boards 4-1. And we talked about that in the pregame as well. One of the keys, limiting the opponent to one shot.
There's a foul. It's going to be a push on McFadden out of bounds, Hillsdale basketball.
Yeah, McFadden, I like what he was doing, attacking the basket right there on that baseline, but, you know, that's a spot where you got to look to score when you get that close to the hoop, but a good take to the hoop.
What I found interesting, though, they had him trapped on the baseline, but then the trapper kind of led off, and then McFadden goes baseline left hand.
That was a good read and a tough catch there in the corner as Ferguson can't handle it. First turnover of the game for the Dale.
9-0
court pressure.
9-0 lead here, Hillsdale. 5 minutes even to go here in the first quarter.
Man-to-man right now for the, well, let's see, the Falcons. Yep, man-to-man for the Falcons.
Smith, the big man, does go outside, but he takes Kirschbaum off the dribble, and Kirschbaum says, not today, get it out. Here comes Ferguson and the Falcons.
Oh, nice look, good pump fake, little scoop pass. Oh, tough shot.
There's that timeout we've been looking for. McFadden on the scoreboard, but Hillsdale with a commanding 11-0 lead.
This Hillsdale offense is playing within themselves, and you see it. Great drive in the reverse. That's a tough shot. Degree of difficulty, even from the East German judge, would be a 5.0 right there. Good job there for the Falcons.
East German judge.
Yeah, for those people that are under 40, you might not understand that there was a West Germany and an East Germany back in the day.
And the wall came down courtesy of?
Mr. Gorbachev, take down that wall.
I command you, take this down now.
Look, it's still the first quarter. We can't be off the rails yet. It's
already 11-0.
But the Falcons are off to a great start, and part of it is they're dominating the boards, and they're playing their pace. It's the two keys we talked about in the pregame, and they are taking care of business.
And I really like Hillsdale's effort on the defensive end. They pressure the basketball. Not only, full court we've seen a couple times, but we've seen it picked up here from the three-quarter court, and here they go. They're going to show a little bit of full court pressure.
And pressure up on the ball.
Hillsdale does a good job of getting back in a hurry. Here's Smith with a couple dribbles off the glass. No, Kirschbaum again says not today. Another block, 2 already in the first quarter.
Well, Kirschbaum is an enforcer on the inside, and he can erase a few mistakes.
Here's Cale Lewis, the quarterback of the squad, and then Fall kicks it back out to Ferguson. He's going to let a triple go.
Yes, sir!
That is 5 for the freshman, and Hillsdale 14-0, just over 4 minutes in the first quarter.
I don't think the Raiders know what has hit them here in Hillsdale.
Lots of substitutions getting ready to check in for Hillsdale, and 1 substitution here quickly coming, or 3 more for Columbia.
And that's what you have to do when you're playing this style. You have to use your bench, and Ben Ferguson's doing just that. Nice take to the basket there, and a good finish by Dylan Fisher. Good job attacking, staying under control, and finishing with the left hand. But what I was saying, Chris, when you're playing this style, both offensively and defensively, you have to be able to utilize your bench.
Cale Lewis looking for Ferguson, but they do get it back out to Troy Bennett to reset the offense here in the half-court set. Cale Lewis, little dribble drive, but he's going to kick it to Bennett. Bennett's going to go baseline, go up, and get it converted. 16-2 Hillsdale. Bennett's first 2 of the night.
Honorable mention, Wayne County Athletic League last year. The nice drive to the basket on that baseline.
You said it, Brandon. You in small schools, you sometimes have classes that come through. Hillsdale clearly has a couple classes stacked together.
Yeah.
And it obviously goes to the state finals in the football program. Last year was really good on the hardwood, got it turned around. Here's a 2-point goal converted by Carter Hess. It's now 16-2 Hillsdale. But, you see it on the baseball field. In Hillsdale, for a small community, really fortunate to have some classes really stacked on top of each other.
Chris, Hillsdale has 92 boys in the high school. And so you have 10 on this varsity basketball team. Great shot.
Ferguson book another triple. The freshman now with
and
8 early ones.
Coach Ferguson says, hey, I like what I see. I'm calling a timeout mostly to get my guys in because they've been at the scorer's table for about a minute or so. So a wise timeout by Ben to say, hey, I love that we're on a 19-4 run, but I need my guys to get their rest. And Ferguson, man, he's got a quick release, nice high arcing jumper. And when you're a little guy like he is, and that's how I was, right, you got to get that ball up in the air. He uses his body. He's strong. Don't let anybody fool you. You look down there, he's a strong kid for being 14 and 5'4". So great job. Take a look at the student section right there. It's camo night.
Yeah. You got any camo?
I don't have any camo.
You got a friend that's got a lot. You could ask.
Should I? What do I need it for? I don't hunt. That dog don't hunt.
Listen, you're in the Dale. You're outside of Hayesville. Everybody hunts down here, my friend.
You get me a camo broadcast T-shirt or broadcast polo. How about that?
I got it. 19-4, 2 minutes, 25 seconds to go. Hillsdale with a commanding early lead here outside of Hayesville.
Yeah, if you're Columbia, you just can't panic here, right? You're on the road. You know, the home team gets off to a great start. They can't miss out there. So you just got to take your time and kind of work your way back into the ball game.
We talked and highlighted the battle of the bigs. Justin Smith for Columbia yet to get on the board. Brady Kirschbaum with a couple blocks, and there defends really good on Justin Smith. Pulls that rebound down. Kirschbaum's got 4 in the Falcons with a massive 15-point leader.
Yeah, listen, in the Dale, as Kris Mowry just said, we all hunt. Well, I'm not from the Dale. I am in the Dale, according to AT.
Young up off the glass, but the rebound pulled down by Kirschbaum. Yet again, spin move, right hand, little toss in.
That little baby hook right there is such a move that every big guy should have that's over 6'4" to 6'6". If you're out there watching this and you're a post player, you got to have that move right there. And Kirschbaum with a nice right hand. He's got moves. He's got it from both sides, the right and the left. And a tough shot right there. You see it. I mean, a tremendous turn, good footwork, finishes with the right hand.
Kind of looked like the Dream from back in our youth.
Let's not get carried away. People don't know who East Germany is, and they certainly don't know who the Dream is.
I put him on a tee, and you smash him down the fairway, 180 yards.
John Daly.
Ferguson here, 21-4 with the Hillsdale Falcons up big on the Columbia Raiders. A little turnover there. No, actually, that was out on Columbia. It's going to be Hillsdale basketball. Here you can see that passing lane intended, and then Columbia got in the way.
And I like what Lowen was trying to do there, but that needs to be a bounce pass right to the corner. You got a couple hands in there. You're initiating some contact, trying to draw that defender. But you got to throw a bounce pass to the corner on that one.
Dylan Fickes and Holland Young check in here for the Falcons. And
great
here's
look.
Fickes back to Cale Lewis. I thought Lewis was going to let that one go, but he does not do that.
Good patience right there. Hillsdale has been very efficient so far, very patient with the basketball.
Oh, good give and go there. Fickes does kick it back out to Knox Lewis. Here's Troy Bennett. Oh, I thought he was going to let it go. He had a nice look there. Chose not to take it, but one step inside the three-point line doesn't get it to go.
Yeah, that first shot would have been better than that one. That's one of the worst shots you want to take in high school and really in the game of basketball.
Here's Fisher for a 3-ball. He gets that one converted, his 5th point of the night, and he's got just about all of 7 points here for
And for
Columbia.
folks out there wondering, like, what is Wells talking about? Well, you're step inside the three-point line, so from an analytics standpoint and a statistics standpoint, the worst shot you can take is an 18, 19-footer. You either take the 3 or you get to the basket. So all of your points, the vast majority of your points should be threes, free throws, and layups.
Cale Lewis to brother Knox off the glass. Doesn't get that bunny to go right at the horn. Hillsdale going to take a 21-7 lead here into the second quarter. You're joining us live and free on the OH Report from Hillsdale High School.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture, quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Welcome back to Hillsdale High School. I'm Kris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. And Hillsdale with a commanding 21-7 lead here in the first quarter, Brandon.
Great quarter for the Falcons, Kris. They are unstoppable right now. And you got to understand, when a team comes on the road and comes into your house, that's the best way to start because you want to put that foot down on the gas. And they're doing that proverbially and literally. So it's happening both ways.
Columbia's basketball here to start the second. Point guard Lowen Ferguson back on the floor, and Hayden McFadden also. And McFadden went for that steal, but he's going to get called. Actually, a timeout called. I was thinking it was going to be a foul. Excuse me. That was a timeout called by Josh Sheriff. of Columbia.
Yeah, I'm not sure what Coach Scharf said or what he saw and didn't like, but early on you're down 14, and so you have to burn a timeout. That's your second one. But whatever Coach saw, I think he might have been trying to avoid a turnover, thinking they were going to turn it over right there. So you get 5 of them. You can't take them with you at the end of the game, and you're down 21-7. So every possession at this point is critical to try to get yourself back in the game.
Also could have been worried about a 5-second call, maybe.
Yeah, that's a good call, right? And that's the turnover, right? So you're okay saving possessions right there. Maybe a little quick on the trigger, but that's okay. I'd rather a coach be a little quick on the trigger there.
There we go, and the ball back in, and Fisher controls that. Cale Lewis had a paw on that one, and here's a turnover going back the other way. Holland Young in a hurry does pull it back out and looks to reset the offense, and Justin Smith gets a hand on that entry pass into Kirschbaum. We're going back the other way.
Little sloppy pass there, trying to get it inside.
Fisher for a triple. That's his second of the day. He's got 8 points, and the lead is shrinking here now, 21-10.
Yeah, Fisher can stroke it. There's no doubt. 36% from beyond the arc on the season, averaging just under 10 points a game. And he's a guy you don't want to let get hot, and he's carrying them so far with 8 of their 10.
McFadden dribbling, but getting slowed down there by Washburn of Columbia. Impeding the direction. How about that?
That's good work. Impedance.
There's a trap on the baseline. That pass going towards the goal to Lewis, but another turnover here for the Falcons.
Yeah, back-to-back turns for the Falcons, and now you're in a little bit of a danger zone. And they thought they were going to fire it inside. Jack Washburn turned and thought that ball was going up. But again, you got off to a great start if you're the Falcons, and if you're the Raiders, you're thinking, okay, we just got to kind of inch our way back in. It's a long game.
Justin Smith, that entry pass, puts it on the deck, and it gets pulled away. And here's Holland Young off the glass. Doesn't get it to go, but Cale Lewis, right spot, right time, off the glass, catches iron, no good.
Man.
Oh, nice little oopie there play, but not converted. Rebound pulled down by McFadden.
Yeah, great look ahead, but unfortunately, Dooley couldn't finish on that one for the Raiders, trying to cut it to a single-digit deficit.
Be interesting to see what happens on this possession. Ferguson's back playing point guard. He brings the ball up, and they seem to be a different offense when the ball's in Ferguson's hands. Here he is. The freshman lets a triple go, little deep, but Hillsdale back taps that ball, and Ferguson going to get that rebound.
Hillsdale dominating the boards, almost doubling up the Raiders, 13-7 so far.
You can win a lot of basketball games, I hear, when you win the rebounding game. Little turnaround J from McFadden, no good.
Rebounds and turnovers, and right now Hillsdale is winning both of those.
5 minutes, 40 seconds to go here before half, and they're just inside the three-point line is Washburn. He doesn't catch anything. Smith with that board. He's going to go up and under left hand, and no good again, and he's still looking to get on the scorer's column.
That's another one of those ill-advised shots if you're Jack Washburn from 18 feet.
Ferguson triple, doesn't take it, but he does a little spin move, gets it off to McFadden. Baseline, and they're going to get a foul on Smith. That'll be his first foul of the night. Been officiated kind of loose here tonight. It hasn't been a lot of fouls. I love it.
Yeah, letting them play, and I think that's important. It's aggressive, but nice job on the rip-through over there by McFadden and driving the baseline. Still impressed with the way the ball moves from the Falcons.
I'm impressed with this out-of-bounds play. Holland Young backs into the defender, goes up, and he's going to have a foul called on him. He's going to go to the stripe for 2.
And Kris, this is why, for me, I always, on a baseline out of bounds defensively, would play 2-3. I cannot stand the man-to-man on a baseline out of bounds defensively, because you're just, unless you're hard switching everything man-to-man, and you got to communicate so well, you're leaving yourself open to what just happened there. So for me, that was always my strategy. My philosophy was, hey, no, baseline out of bounds, we're going 2-3. We might match up eventually in that possession, but we're going to start in a 2-3.
Holland Young gets both tosses to go. He's got 2 points, and Hillsdale increases that lead to 13. The other thing about that play down there is you get a lot of bodies. One guy can pick 2 guys because of the angles and whatnot.
Well, there's just a lot going on inside. It's easy for a guy to get lost.
Here's a triple by Hess, no good, and McFadden, guess what? Another rebound here for the Falcons. One shot and done. It's kind of been Columbia's MO here tonight.
Well, yeah, Hillsdale 15-8 on the rebound margin.
Kirschbaum, ill-advised pass and a lazy one at that, and Columbia going back quick the other way off the glass and converted. Mange has 2 points now.
Hillsdale had 1 turnover in the first quarter, Kris, and 3 in the first half here of the second quarter. So obviously Coach Ferguson wants his guys to clean that one up. Open
Lewis,
look.
wide open triple. He doesn't get that one to go. That's the shot you want right there. Wide open, uncontested three, just didn't get it converted. Mange
Nice
triggers
skip.
across right to Smith. The big man playing outside the three-point line. And
Good decision. Oh, and a tough throw. Good
Colin
job
Young
reading.
in a hurry. We're going to find out if he can hammer it, and he lays it up wisely for two more, his 4th point of the night.
Good job by Carter Dooley playing the passing lane right there, Chris, and running through. It was the right idea for Smith. I'm sorry, that was Holland Young going the other way. Good job there playing the passing lanes.
25-12 lead here for Hillsdale. 3 minutes, 50 seconds to go in the second quarter. A couple more subs here at the substitution table going to check in here for both squads. Smith goes up and Holland Young fouls him. He'll go to the line for the first time tonight. When we were talking about Smith, the most interesting thing I found from him, a big man shoots 78% from the foul line. We'll see if he can convert him here.
Yeah, that's, look, if you're over 70%, really that's the target for most guys at the high school level. But for a post player to be shooting almost 80.
He's got a soft touch. Rim, backboard down.
He is a strong kid out there. You see him, and he's definitely a grown man at the line. 6'6" and all-state in 2 sports, like we said in the pregame. That's impressive. Not many people can say that.
Smith averages 16 and 11 boards a night. Misses the second, but the offensive rebound controlled by Columbia.
Yeah, poor job by the Falcons to crash the boards and box out. You got to stay true to that box out until you get that ball. They're trying to post up inside. They've got a mismatch inside on Ferguson, and they throw it away. It's a turnover. Good job there by Lowen of just using his lower body, pushing and pushing and pushing. The backside help was there, and they were aware, right? That's because they're talking. And if you're Lowen Ferguson and you got that mismatch and somebody's trying to pound you down low on that block, you're going to use your body and be strong, but you're also going to say, hey, I need help. You're calling for help on that.
Ferguson running point yet again for these Falcons. He's in a motion. It's a play designed just for him. He comes out for a triple. Doesn't get it to go. The Falcons trying to aggressively get that offensive rebound, but pulled down by Columbia.
That's a great play right there. A design play that Coach Ferguson had running right there.
Good job of getting a hand in the passing lane.
Yeah, Lowen missed the 3, but that's a great look. Yeah, good defense right here. It's why you got to be active with your hands. And that was a good job. I think Holland Young got a piece of that one and knocked it out.
25-13, just over 3 minutes to go in the second quarter from Hillsdale High School. Columbia with the basketball. Light scoring here for the Raiders. I don't think anybody on that squad anticipated only having 13 at this juncture of the game, but here we stand.
Well, they're winning the second quarter right now, right? I mean, they're up 6-4 here in the second quarter. It was 21-7 to start this game and make it 8-4 here in the second quarter, and another offensive rebound given to Columbia. They are starting to crash the boards a little more.
And Dylan Fisher is going to have to be a guy reckoned with. He's now got 10 markers for Columbia out of the 15 points, and another turnover for Hillsdale. Back the other way comes Dooley, left hand off the glass, no good.
Holland Young might have got away with a little hand on that one on the drive to the basket.
I don't know anything about that. That's way up in the air. Ferguson
nice
with a
look.
dump pass into Krishbaum. Right hand, little turnaround J, no good. That lead is cut down to 10. You told me, hey, they're going to make a run, and they've done that here in the second quarter.
Yeah, this isn't a bad team. They're a little young, but they got off to a bad start, and they've turned it over 7 times now. And that's been the Achilles heel here so far for the Raiders. But Hillsdale with 4 turnovers here in the second quarter.
And you mentioned the second quarter. Columbia's winning the second quarter 8-4. It's now 8-6. They're winning this quarter. Ferguson now with 10.
And what you just saw from Lowen is a key play for a smaller guy, a guard. Oh, boy. He let that go, and
Krishbaum, look at that. Give me the basketball. Good job of ripping that away.
Falcons dodged a bullet right there, but yeah, good job. Krishbaum says that ball's mine.
Mine.
Ferguson
uses the pick. Poor pass on the entry into Knox Lewis, and coming the other way is the Raiders, and off the glass for 2 is Dooley. He's on the board for the first 2 of his night.
Falcons look a little tired here late in the second quarter. Coach Ferguson's got 3 subs ready to come in. Doesn't want to burn another timeout. Oh, nice catch.
Great athletic catch by Knox Lewis off the glass for 2.
It was a great look. Not great execution, but Knox Lewis with the catch of the day right there. Looked like a wide receiver, Chris.
Tight end.
Yeah, close enough.
Columbia back the other way. 12-point Hillsdale lead. We're under a minute to go. Just about thrown out of bounds for another turnover, luckily for the Raiders. Roost catches that one and keeps the possession active. Scoring pretty balanced for Hillsdale. Hillsdale comes into this game, Brandon, with 4 guys averaging in double figures.
Yeah, that balanced attack, and you see defensively right here, good job right there. Troy Bennett sliding the feet, staying out in front of the offensive player, causing the turnover right there. And that's what happens when you do things correctly. You don't have to go for the steal every time.
Ferguson takes the seat. Kris takes the seat. Running point for these Falcons is Troy Bennett, the junior guard.
A little 1-4 high look.
Oh, nice move by Knox Lewis to go around left side off the glass for 2. He's got 4 on the night.
Knox Lewis is a strong kid, particularly for a sophomore, and you see him go to the basket and use the backboard and extend this lead back to 14.
They get it honestly.
That's 10 apiece here in the second quarter. Columbia made a little mini run, but now the Falcons have answered.
Smith goes through the lane, throws that one up, and does get fouled, so Smith will go to the line for 2. For those of you wondering why we're calling the Lewis name so frequently, Cale and Knox Lewis are twins, and both played a monumental role on this Hillsdale Falcon fall squad that went to the state finals against Marion Local. Cale, the quarterback, obviously, and Knox plays defense, plays tight end, a really integral part as well. And many of these other guys, Holland Young and Kris and McFadden, and several of these players had an extended run in the fall, as you mentioned in the pregame.
Yeah, and you know, look, you got an opportunity to spend multiple years with your brother playing, multiple sports. That's not something a lot of people get to do.
Smith misses both of them, a 78% foul shooter. 1 for 4 on the day. Here's Lewis for a triple, doesn't get that one to go. It's 31-18, Hillsdale's advantage here at halftime. BW, what's your quick thoughts?
You got off to a great start if you're the Falcons, 21-7. Since then, it's been pretty even, right? Columbia has decided, hey, we got to fight back here after a tough start. So, to me, the first couple minutes of that third quarter are going to be critical to whether or not Hillsdale can kind of pull this one away and put the foot down on the gas. Hillsdale looked really good. I'm impressed with their offense and the way they distribute the basketball, and they held the Raiders to 18 points, mostly from that first quarter of limiting Columbia to just 1 shot.
31 first half points for Hillsdale, led by Lowen Ferguson's 10. You talked about him. You were going to be paying extra attention to him. He's been pretty dynamic tonight.
Look, as a guy who's a head coach, myself, and also a point guard, I'm hard on my point guards, and you have to be, because everything runs through those guys on the offensive side. And if you're going to be efficient, if you're going to be a good basketball team that's going to win, you're going to have a good culture, it all starts with that point guard, and Lowen Ferguson has it rolling tonight. He's made a couple mistakes, but that's going to happen in an up-tempo style of basketball. You're going to have some turnovers, and really, Hillsdale only 6 turnovers in the first half. You try to limit that to single digits for the game at the high school level. That's impressive. They had a couple in a row. I think they had 3 in a row there in the second quarter, but other than that, they've been really good.
A lot of fun. Hillsdale dominating the rebound game. I'm Kris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. You're listening on the OH Report live and free. Come on back for the second half right after this.
Coach B.
Hey, Travis, what's up?
Oh, not much. What's that sound?
Just working on some long overdue improvements here.
Whoa.
Fit for a Hall of Famer. Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Support their local athletes, and they know the foundations that make great employees, and they're woven into the teamwork, focus, drive, and perseverance given in each practice and game. So Spherion Mid-Ohio, let's get to work. Buy Directions Credit Union. Global Energy Partners, helping communities with exceptional work while utilizing local businesses. Home and Kitchen Supply, your one-stop shop for kitchen and bath windows and doors since 1970. We'll be back with halftime analysis and breakdown with Brandon Wells, Kris Mowry, live and free, right here on the OH.REPORT from Jeromesville.
Welcome back to Hillsdale High School, this Furion Staffing halftime show. Hey, we're not the only game in town. Well, we are the only game in town on the OH Report tonight, live and free. But we do have some colleagues making some tracks around Ashland County, Richland County, and the surrounding area. Shelby at Willard girls basketball, you can catch that. Columbia at Hillsdale, that's our game. Danville at Mount Gilead, and Winford at Upper Sandusky tonight. 31-18 our game here. Hillsdale leads Columbia.
Hey, this is a pretty good half of basketball. I know the score might not reflect it, but it's because Hillsdale got off to a great start at 13-0 to start the ball game. Taking a look at the numbers, Chris, you know, for me what stands out is Hillsdale. We talked about the two main keys for both teams, really. Look, you want to win the rebounding battle. Hillsdale is pounding the boards 18-13 and limiting the Raiders to one shot almost every time. The turnover battle, right now the Raiders with 8 in that first half. So if you're Coach Sharf, you're probably a little frustrated with your offense and you turn the ball over a little bit too much. You know, on the other side, Ben says, you know, hey, 6 turnovers in a half isn't terrible. That second quarter was a little rough there for about a 3-4 minute stretch where to start that second quarter, I think, you know, the Falcons got a little out of sorts and didn't play great, but that's okay. They're still up by 13.
Well, the story's been the first half scoring, which was what separated the Falcons. They led the first quarter 21-7. Ironically, in the second quarter, those turnovers you mentioned, Columbia comes back to win the second quarter 11-10, and we find ourselves 31-18.
Yeah, good balanced attack from the Falcons, and they've got guys, you know, they've got 4 guys in double figures, averaging double figures, Chris. The Raiders did make that run in the second quarter, and for me, as a guy who was imploring his team at halftime to say, guys, if you're Columbia, you're down 13, you say, first 2-3 minutes are pivotal, guys. We got to bring everything we have in that first 2 to 3 minutes to try to get back to a 5-6 point game, because now that pressure then shifts back to the Falcons, because if you're up 13 and you kind of just get through this third quarter and you're still up 13, you know, you're in good shape. You can play even the rest of the way and you're fine. But if you're Columbia, maybe you need to mix it up a little bit, do something a little bit different coming out here. You know, we'll see what adjustments Coach Sharf has and maybe what Coach Ferguson has as well.
Well, we had 13 feet of bigs that we were highlighting as our player spotlights. That's Justin Smith. Look, he averages almost 17. He's been held to a single digit here, and that was from the stripe. On the other side for Hillsdale, Brady Krishbaum, we talked about him. He averages 16. He's got 3 field goals, 6 points on the night.
Krishbaum's doing a great job defensively against Smith, and that's really what has limited Justin Smith on the inside. And I think Krishbaum maybe a little, you know, a little more basketball focused in there, and he's a little different body type, right? A little lankier, and I think he provides a really tough matchup for Smith with those long arms.
Hillsdale basketball here to start the third. The starters back on the floor for the Falcons, and they're getting trapped. But here comes McFadden around the end. They're going to call a double dribble on Hayden McFadden. I don't think he believed it, but nonetheless, that is a call turnover here to start the second half.
Yeah, tough one there. Obviously, you know, the first possession, you turn it over, and the Raiders with an opportunity to cut into this lead.
I don't think anybody in navy and yellow thought that was the case. It used to be Columbia blue back in the day, or Carolina blue.
There's still a little bit of that mixed in.
On the shoes, Maz, the shoes out there for the Falcons.
It's the tertiary color, Chris.
Oh, big words. 50-cent words here on the OH Report tonight. Triple here from Columbia, no good. That rebound pulled down by Cale Lewis. Ferguson has the basketball, and Hillsdale doing what they like to do, running down the court.
Good job defensively by Carter Dooley to impede the progress right there, but a nice
Fabulous
left
pass.
Yeah, good look inside, but Krishbaum with a tough shot. Probably needed to pass that one up and reset.
Oh, here we got a steal. McFadden can't hammer it. We'll see if he tries. No, he's going to go back to Krishbaum, who's left hand off the glass, no good. I think they'd like to have that possession over again.
Yeah, not a great possession right there. I'm not sure why we passed it back, and that's a turnover right back. So both these teams kind of not getting into the flow of the game here to start the third quarter, right? They're not sending the first minute and 7 seconds of the OH Report to the Hall of Fame for, preservation.
We talked about shows earlier today. We've got to give a little note out to the voice of the Falcons, Zach Truax, who has a wrestling show here on the OH Report.
Was it called Knockdown?
It's called The Takedown with Zach Truax. I told him one time, I don't know if you could create a show with a longer name than what the voice of the Falcons has created.
I thought he was going to call it the Oil Changer.
I thought he was going to call it Monkey Dunk. He told me that's what he was thinking about, but he didn't let that one go. 31-18 lead here, 6 minutes, 27 seconds minutes to go in the third quarter from Hillsdale High School. Ferguson, handsy, pulls that steal down, but a great dime off to Kris, but Kris a little too low for the big man to handle.
Neither team is getting anything rolling here offensively. Oh, great look underneath. Smith, man.
Smith goes up. He does get hacked by McFadden, so that'll send the big man Smith back to the line, and that is McFadden's first foul of the night, and Hillsdale's second foul, only their second of the contest.
Love the pass underneath, the one more concept, and you had Smith on that backside open, and you know what Smith did really well right there, and you saw it on the replay. He took his time, he felt the pressure, he pump faked, got a guy up, like every post player should be able to do, just like that little baby hook, a little pump fake, get somebody in the air, and then go up and try to finish and get yourself to the line. Because it's not all about you. It also draws a foul on the opponent. Now you're going to get them into more of a foul issue. So there are reasons why you do that.
Smith back to his normal way of shooting foul shots. He gets 2 down from the stripe. That lead converted, or that lead extended, or tightened up. How about that? Gosh, Kris is on vacation to 11 points.
It's the snow.
Yeah,
I blame the snow.
It's something. I
You
don't know.
drove really fast through the snow on the way here. I was impressed.
That was fast?
It's that European vehicle of yours. It handled the snow. I didn't, like, you know, it's, yeah. Over there on the Autobahn and the German highlands and the mountains, they know how to create a vehicle that can go through the snow.
The Bavarian Motor Works does just well. I will be in the homeland here in about 2 weeks.
Oh, the only thing Bavarian I like is pretzels.
Wellspring has helped bring this game to us live and free on the OH Report tonight. Cale Lewis off the glass, 33-20, and Lewis now has 5 points on the night.
Raiders and the Falcons here. Still a 13-point game, Kris. A little zone look from the Falcons, a 1-3-1, and I love it.
That one's
I
blocked.
absolutely love it.
Cale Lewis, good job. I just heard you say Raiders and Falcons. I thought we had the AFC West taking on the NFC South here for a minute.
Well, they went to a zone coverage right there, so that's okay. It wasn't a too high look or a cover 2, but I will tell you, I love seeing coaches mix in zone, and I think for some reason, as somebody who grew up in Northeast Ohio, I saw a lot of zone, played a lot of zone, coached a lot of zone. You don't see a lot of zone in this region for whatever reason.
Oh, yeah.
For whatever reason, but I love mixing in particularly a 1-3-1, which is what you saw Coach Ferguson throw in on that last possession. Another turnover from Hillsdale.
Look, there's
Sloppy.
a lot of private schools up north. They play zone a little softer. Down here in the Dale and surrounding, we're tough.
There
and
it
we've got to
is.
learn at the park how to play one-on-one.
At the academy, we played all kinds of defense.
33-12, Hillsdale leads Columbia. Columbia basketball here, going back the other way. It's been a slow start to the third quarter, to say the least. Here's a triple by Columbia. That draws iron no good. Kris goes up high. Ferguson has a chance to get that one, but that one corralled back by Logan Mange of Columbia.
Sloppy first 4 minutes here of the third quarter for both teams.
That's being nice, my friend.
They're high school kids.
Yep.
It happens.
Yep.
It's a Tuesday night.
Absolutely right. McFadden looking for a travel, doesn't get the call, and converted another 2 points for Dylan Fisher. That's his 12th of the night.
Fisher's a nice ball player out there, and he's having a good night. Sophomore, he's got some room to grow. You know, and improve and continue to get better. Like he's a tough player right there. And that's a tough shot, that little mid-range jump shot. But he caught it in rhythm. Nice job right there for Fisher. He's keeping them in the ball game, Kris. He's got 12 of their 22. That's for the math impaired, that's more than 50%. Because 11 out of 22 is 50%. So 12's more than that.
Wow.
They taught me that at the academy.
I have no response. That's dynamite drop in, Monty. Down on the ball, we're going to have a loose ball. Gosh, here we go. That ball is going to be a turnover here for the Falcons.
That is a turn from the Falcons, and they've gotten sloppy. They have 11 turnovers now to match Columbia, and right there it was a good idea, but a really tough catch for a 6'6", 6'7" post player to try to catch that ball down low.
You know, the bounce pass is great. You talk about it a lot when we're together, but sometimes those high entry passes to where they're out of the little guy's way and arm angles might be a little more executable. Fisher wanted that triple. He's hot. I think we would have had a heat check if he let that one go with a hand in his face there.
Well, sometimes you got to know your range, but you also got to know if it's your night and nobody else is hot and hitting, then you got to take care of some business.
Columbia has gotten lucky a few times in those passes back out to the arc. That one no exception there. Smith outside, does a spin move, goes off the glass, no gun. Krishbaum gets a helmet sticker for tonight's defensive awareness. He's playing really great. Menji with a 3, no good. Back tap by McFadden. Here we go, Columbia basketball yet again. Smith for a triple. Go ahead and give that to him. That's the big man's first goal from the floor. He's got 6.
This is the closest it's been since the first quarter. This is an 8-point ball game now with 3.5 minutes to go in the third. It's a dangerous spot right now. 7-2 run here to start the third.
Hillsdale gets I thought they had the basket, but that went right out. We're going to have a jump ball. That was Fisher and Krishbaum get tied up there. It'll be Hillsdale basketball.
You're from Jeromesdale, Hayesville. You should know not to count your chickens before they hatch.
Where am I from? Hillsdale? Yeah, okay. Here we go. Hillsdale basketball. Knox Lewis passes it off, and Ferguson's got a triple. He doesn't take it. The freshman does a great job of the basketball. He handles it so well. Here's a triple from Holland Young. Go ahead and give that to him. That's now 7 points for Young.
That's a huge shot for the Falcons to stem the tide. That was a 7-2 run to start the quarter. Big shot right there from Holland Young.
They needed it, Hillsdale did, just to kind of get themselves righted here on this third quarter, and their lead is pushed back to 11. 2 minutes, 45 seconds.
We'll see if Columbia can respond here. Big possession for the Raiders.
I think it's a big possession both ways. If Hillsdale could get a run out and extend that lead even further, it makes you feel like you're defeated there if you're Columbia. Fisher goes up off the glass, no good. That rebound from Cale Lewis there, we talked about it. Strong Cale Lewis. Tries to take a little back dribble to himself, but it does touch the out-of-bounds line. It'll be Columbia basketball.
Falcons have gotten away from what made them successful early in this ball game in the tempo and moving and pushing the basketball and limiting the Columbia Raiders to one shot. And they need to get back to that ball, that sort of ball and that pace that they were playing in the first quarter. They are back to man defensively.
Nice entry pass into Hess. Hess off the glass, no good, and that ball is rebounded yet again by Columbia, but a little back tap there by Fickes, and that one off the Columbia Raider, and it'll be Hillsdale basketball.
Yeah, nice job defensively right there, knocking that ball out.
Ferguson back to point guard duties. Ill-advised pass. Smith gets down to that passing lane and creates the turnover there for the Falcons. And here's another triple by Fisher, unguarded and off the iron short. And Smith gonna let a triple go. Go ahead and give that to him, and the big man's caught fire. He's already up to 9 points.
Smith can clearly shoot the basketball from outside now. You can't leave him. I mean, he's only 25% on the year, but you give him time, and that's usually what those big guys need, right? He's got a couple of threes already.
Cale Lewis picks that dribble up.
He got away with a travel right there, did Cale.
Couple Hillsdale Falcons gonna check back in. That's Krishbaum and Troy Bennett on the next stoppage. Great entry pass to his brother Knox Lewis.
Nothing there. Good pass. Good decision right there by Knox.
Holland Young back to Fickes in the corner. Doesn't take the 3 dribble drive into the paint.
Stay patient if you're the Falcons.
Knox off the glass. Doesn't get that one to go. His reward, 2 shots coming up the stripe.
Good patience right there from the Falcons. You remember, there's no shot clock in Ohio high school basketball. In a game that's 36-28, you're not surprised at that. But what I would tell you is it's just a good patient play. They moved the basketball around, didn't force anything. Good job by Knox Lewis there of attacking the smaller guy on him and Dylan Fisher and going right at him.
Knox Lewis with 4 points, comes up mightily short on that free throw shot there, and be looking to atone for that one here on the second attempt coming in. As mentioned, Krishbaum back in the contest. Troy Bennett back in the contest for Hillsdale. Hillsdale with a 36-28 lead. Lewis's second attempt up, no good.
Ouch.
Smith with that rebound. Both teams need a bucket. This game is under 10, Brandon, an 8-point Hillsdale lead.
Those are costly misses right there for the Falcons. Nice back cut, and just Smith with a little too much juice on it, but he had the cutter going to the basket, and Hess, and that 2-hand overhead pass, incomplete, out of bounds.
Well, he's a 2-sport All-Ohio, and I'm guessing he's a pitcher, too, by the way. He let that launch basketball go towards the cheerleader section. Under a minute to play. Krishbaum left hand, no good, and that ball is controlled by Columbia. They had an opportunity to run, but they do slow it up. Here's Fisher bringing it up the court.
Smith might pull. All right, he's going to attack the basket. Nice job attacking the basket, but no little back tap again. Hillsdale comes up with a loose ball.
Troy Bennett driving the lane.
Oh, what
gets
a move.
the defender up in the air. He's going to kick it back to Cale Lewis.
That's a dead ball. Ooh, that could have been a double dribble right there.
Lewis from just inside the arc, no good. Smith controls that basketball. We're at 23 seconds to go here in the third quarter. Hillsdale with an 8-point lead. 10-6 third quarter advantage here for Columbia.
If I'm Columbia, I'm holding it here for one shot. Oh, and you give it up on a turnover.
Cale Lewis with 10 seconds. Now 7 seconds, gets trapped. That ball's going to find its way into Troy Bennett's hand. 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second. They're going to get it off. That counts if it goes. It doesn't go. Knocks loose, doesn't get it converted. 36-28 here for the Falcons. They lead as we head to the fourth quarter. I'm Kris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. You're listening and watching live and free on the OH Report. Welcome back to Hillsdale High School on the OH Report, live and free. Hillsdale Falcons 36, Columbia Raiders 28, 8 minutes on the fourth quarter clock. We're underway. Columbia's basketball to start.
Chris, the Falcons won the first quarter 21-7, and since then it's 21-15 Columbia.
Here's a triple by Columbia in the corner. That goes off the top of the board. That'll be Hillsdale's basketball. You're exactly right. Hillsdale doesn't have that monumental 14-point advantage in the first quarter. They find themselves in the hole here.
Came out with some great energy on both sides of the court in that first quarter, and sometimes when you come out and jump out to a big lead like that, it's a double-edged sword, right? And I think that's kind of what happened here. Nice play set up
Ferguson
here.
in the corner. He's going to let that triple go. He does get fouled. Ferguson will go to the line here for 3 tosses. He's got 10 points on the night. Pretty interesting there. You foul the three-point shooter. I don't know.
Yeah, not a wise decision. A little bit too much contact. Good job by Ferguson to sell it a little bit. But, you know, the problem there was it was not a great pass from Hayden McFadden. He had the right man to hit him and just threw kind of a poor pass because of the pressure applied by Columbia, which put Lowen Ferguson in a tough spot to catch that ball. And thankfully for the Falcons, he's able to draw the 3 points, the 3 foul shots, rather.
Guess what? A coach's kid can always shoot foul shots. Here's 2 of them converted in a row here by Ferguson. He's got 1 more to go. Checking back in for the Raiders is Dylan Fisher. He's got 12 of their 28 points on the night.
Yeah, nice job by Coach Scharf to give him a little extended break right there to start the fourth and then get him back in. They need him in there. He's the only one scoring a lot of points here so far for the Raiders.
And here's this Hillsdale full-court pressure, hounding by Ferguson. Smith out beyond the arc. He's dangerous, as you mentioned. Fisher, then back to Smith. He's going to let that triple go, and he doesn't get it to go. Nice rebound by McFadden, Hillsdale. Just about. They're going to have a foul called on the Columbia Raider, Ambrose Beach. That'll be his second of the night.
Well, and you got to be careful right there. If you're McFadden, he brought the ball down, right? And so that's what happens, and guys start digging for the basketball. So that's one of those things that you work on in practice. You work on chinning the basketball, bringing it to your chest, right below your chin, and you get the elbows out. You're not trying to hurt anybody. Swing elbows, because then you'll get called, right? You're not playing dirty, but you got to play strong with the basketball and keep it up high.
Dennis Rodman never got that note. 39-28, Falcons lead the Raiders here on a Tuesday night.
Couldn't read, so even if he got a note, it wouldn't have mattered.
Look at this give and go. Troy Bennett, the recipient of that dime, and that's 4 points now for Bennett.
That is a tremendous play set up by Ferguson. You hit the high post, and that backdoor cut timed perfectly. Good job right there by the Falcons.
Hillsdale, as you mentioned, looks like they're playing a little bit more their style up and down. That two-pointer converted by Mange. That's his 4th point of the night.
Yeah, Mange did a really nice drive to the basket. You know, that kind of Euro step action right there. Good work. They're going with that double high post right now. Kirschbaum, nice turn and spin.
Look at that. Kirschbaum backs him down. Even with the dribble in the hand, he takes the step towards the goal.
That's not a great shot, though, because he had McFadden open on the wing right there, and good defense by Smith.
Here's a triple by Dudley, converted. 5 points now for Dudley, and here comes Columbia.
Columbia's hanging around, just like the Counting Crows, hanging around.
8-point lead for Hillsdale. 6 minutes, 10 seconds on the 4th quarter clock.
That was a stretch, I know.
Ferguson lets that one go, draws front iron, but guess what? The young man gets his own rebound. Well done. Good job of following that shot, not giving up on the play. Going to have a foul on the floor. Hillsdale will retain possession. That'll be baseline out of bounds.
He waves off the screen, dribbling with the left, draws a lot of contact. Riding his hip was Carter Dooley. Good job by Lowen Ferguson attacking the middle, and he was going to hit that guy on the wing. His teammate out there to look for a 3, but draws the foul.
Get him a saddle, Ferguson.
And that's 3 on the Raiders, so you know you're in the new rules, right? So you get to 5, and now you'd be at the line. Here are 2 more fouls.
Ferguson going to be the trigger man for the Falcons on the baseline. Remember, the Falcons ran a wonderful play. Ferguson was a recipient, kind of lazily ran through the couple screens there and was wide open for a triple look here in the first half. We'll see if Coach Ferguson draws up that play again.
I'm not sure.
Hadn't decided on the substitution. Finally does put Washburn in, and Dudley heads out of the contest. Happened to take his full 30 seconds to get that sub in, I guess. I don't know.
Nice screen by, Knox. He had an opportunity. Good pass inside.
Left hand scoop shot up and in by Kirschbaum. Nice bucket.
Good defense, but an even better offensive play by Kirschbaum. Turn, spins middle, comes back.
Justin Smith, recipient of that pass. Little spin move in the paint. He gets that one to go. Smith now with 11 points. Both big men getting on the board here down the stretch. Troy Bennett with the basketball looking for Kirschbaum, but he gets it to Ferguson. They're going to call a travel. Ferguson lets that triple go, but after the horn.
They were looking to get the ball into Kirschbaum, but Columbia had help on the backside. Good job defensively of knowing where you're at and knowing where the offensive guys are that you want to really protect from the rim.
Hillsdale leads 43-35, 5:22 to go in the 4th quarter. Full court press by Hillsdale, man-to-man full court press. Smith.
We'll pick and pop on that. Yeah,
he will let that go. Yep.
He needs a lot of time to get that 3 off, and I don't think he wanted any piece of Kirschbaum coming and putting that one into the seats.
Well, he's already thrown 3 or 4 of his shots tonight, has Kirschbaum. Smith puts it on the deck. Nice job by McFadden getting the hands on the basketball and creating that opportunity to have another possession.
Yeah, good hands by the junior wingman. Nice play, knocking that ball out of bounds.
Well, he's the single-season receiving record here at Hillsdale, so he's got good hands.
Might break that next year.
I never broke my own record, school record. Never had a record.
I did.
I'm sure you did. And hit by pitches don't count.
Why not?
Hillsdale, 8-point lead, 4:45 to go. Ferguson with the basketball. I would expect here Hillsdale may slow down just a smidge unless they get some layup opportunities. Here comes Cale Lewis. He did have that layup opportunity, doesn't get it to go. Kirschbaum tries to get the rebound. No dice.
Can't bring that basketball down. Got to keep it up. Don't let those little guys come in and take the basketball from you right there. They're letting the Raiders hang around. Oh, great pass. Great give and go. Even better block. Cale Lewis.
Hillsdale coming back the other way. The quarterback on the football field can do it on the hardwood as well. Ferguson with a floater. He gets fouled. He's going to go to the stripe for 2. Remember, Ferguson got fouled on that 3-pointer just a couple minutes ago, and he converted all 3. Let's see if the young man, the freshman, can get 2 more at the stripe.
He's got definitely the mental part of the game down and understands when to drive to the basket, when to pull it out, especially for a freshman. Nice job right there, attacking the basket, drawing the contact, initiating a little bit of the contact, and then, kind of selling it as well. When you're a little guy, you got to be careful not to sell it too much because it's easy to do that as well.
14 now for Ferguson. His 15-point finds the bottom of the nylon and gives Hillsdale a 10-point lead with just over 4 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter on a snowy, cold, blustery, -degree Tuesday night. Outside
I think the shooting
Ashland.
percentages are in a similar cold fashion in
At
here.
least in the third and fourth quarter.
Yeah.
They were red hot in the first quarter for the Dale, but they have
21
since
points
slowed
in
down.
the first quarter, 24 since.
Columbia, you almost feel like needs a bucket here to keep the momentum, kind of at 50-50, and they don't get that one high off the glass. Krishbaum pulls that rebound down. He's looking to get that one in Ferguson's hand, and he does just that. Here comes Hillsdale.
This Hillsdale squad is talented, and for Division 7 with the realignment this year in OHSAA, Kris, they're going to have a chance in their sectional to make a little noise with this group. They stay healthy, they get it all together. You got a big man like that driving to the basket. You got a 6'6", 6'7" guy on the inside, Kris, at this level, and you've got a point guard and you've got a couple of shooters. You have an opportunity to make a little run down the stretch.
47-35, now a 12-point lead for Hillsdale. They found their gear here midway through the fourth quarter to expand that lead pretty handily here. We'll see if they can close it out with just over 3 minutes to go.
If I'm Columbia, I'm probably going into it. Well, man, there's another turnover for Columbia, and they get it right back.
Smith, spin move off the glass, no good. Krishbaum pulls that rebound down. Guess what? He pulls it back down and gets it tapped away, but Ferguson, right spot, right time. Hillsdale's Holland Young goes off the glass for 2. That is Young's 9th point of the night.
That was a dagger. You're
Dagger.
14 right there. That balanced scoring attack for the Falcons starting to show here in the fourth.
Smith for a triple from the top of the arc, no good, but Washburn pulls that rebound down. Here's Mange. You're at the point where you need to start launching them here in a hurry, and Columbia with another turnover and a run out here. K.L. Lewis off the glass gets that one converted. 7 points for Lewis tonight.
And Columbia clearing the bench. They've got 4 over at the scorers table, and Coach Scharf says, I think this one's over with 2 minutes and change to go.
14-point lead with 4 minutes.
16-point lead now.
16-point lead, excuse me. I missed the 2 that was just put up there. 2 minutes to go.
Everybody did, don't worry. I don't mean Adam, I meant over. We all missed it.
That's a triple by Hess converted. That's his 5th point of the night.
Thanks to Adam Thompson.
Yes.
Doing a fantastic job. And our man Shane on camera doing a great job as well.
Make us look good.
Well, let's not get carried away.
Usually it's you that make us look good when we're at the home arena.
This is a home arena for you.
Yes, good job. Here's Holland Young for a triple, no good. And
that's an ill-advised shot, up 13 with 1:40 to go. Not wise.
Burn the clock out.
Yeah, that's the kind of stuff you don't want to do. I mean, and now you found a guy shooting a 3 to make a potential 4-point play. Really, really immature decision-making out there right now from the Falcons squad here. I mean, you just had stretched it out to a 16-point lead, and all of a sudden you're like, well, we're letting him back into a single digit if he makes the free throw here. And if he makes it, I would expect Columbia to go full court pressure. But they do have 4 guys who should have came in right there who are at the scorer's table. He hit a 3 and he only gets 1 shot. So I don't know why they didn't call in the subs. Not sure what's happening here, Kris. They got to hit the horn.
Everybody's cold tonight. Hillsdale up by 10, 91 seconds to go. Holland Young checks out. And back in for the Falcons is Troy Bennett.
And the Raiders have brought in the majority of their bench here.
I think the white flag has been waved.
Yep, and I see Ben Ferguson doing the same thing right now. Wanted to make sure that was happening. Understandable.
Knox Lewis and Dylan Fickes will check in on the next stoppage.
There's going to be some things that Ben and staff see on this, on the tape, that they're going to say, yeah, we got to fix that. His staff with Eric Pickering and Ben Rogers, Matt Brightville, those guys are going to see this tape and say, oh, there's some things we got to fix. Because I think this was a game where, and now you call timeout to get all your guys in here with a minute left. But there's some great things you saw in the first quarter. You saw some some elements of a team that can be really good, and then you saw some moments where it's like, ooh, maybe this is sort of a remnant of us not having a ton of practice time due to football. But you can only use that excuse for so long, right? You know, I mean, but it is real. But you want your guys to continue to develop that chemistry. I do like their approach in that first quarter, and at certain points here in the fourth, you just have to be more consistent from the start to the finish in order to be a really good WCAL team, right? Is that how you say it?
WCAL.
Yeah, whatever. You know, WCAL, WCAL, Wayne County athletically.
Ben Ferguson,
My apologies to the Wayne County folks.
Ben Ferguson in his second season at the helm of his alma mater, a 95 graduate. He's won a smooth 73% of his contests since taking over last year.
What percent?
73%, pretty handy.
Turnover.
Back the other way, but Hillsdale does have a 10-point lead here, and the reserves have entered the contest under a minute. Hillsdale has this one in hand, and Coach Ferguson's done a tremendous job. If you followed Hillsdale basketball, It's been on hard times here the last several years. Here's a 3-ball by Columbia, no good. But Coach Ferguson's brought a mindset. He's brought a culture. He's brought expectation. And this Hillsdale squad, with these classes stacked on top of each other, we've talked about, are paying fruits for that effort from Coach Ferguson. His quote, he did tell me, look, Kris, we played 66, 65 games in the summer. I don't think he says, I don't think you mathematically could have played more than we did and put the effort in the summertime.
Culture is everything. Culture trumps competency. It eats competency for breakfast. It eats it for lunch, whatever you want to say. And Coach Ferguson has developed a culture here of Hillsdale basketball that should be able to also survive the kind of downs and the valleys that you have sometimes in the talent realm, right? Where you say, okay, what's our floor? Because your ceiling is set by the talent and the cycles of players that you have. But your floor is set by the coaching staff and the culture that you develop, and you have to start that on day one. And that means accountability. That means buying in. That means spending time in the weight room. That means spending time in the summer playing as many games as possible with your teammates. It means being in the weight room as much as possible with your teammates. All of those things.
Knox Lewis, a couple more attempts at the stripe, doesn't get those to go. 10-point lead here for Hillsdale. Columbia gonna fire a 3, gets that one to go. That is Washburn's first points of the night. There's the horn, and Hillsdale victorious 51-44 in front of the home fans here outside of Hayesville, Ohio. I'm Chris Mowry, that's Brandon Wells. We'll be right back on the OH Report, live and free, right after this.
Coach B.
Hey, Travis, what's up?
Oh, not much. What's that sound?
Just working on some long overdue improvements here.
Whoa.
Fit for a Hall of Famer. Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into the Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Welcome back to Hillsdale High School, the Spherion Staffing post-game show. Hillsdale victorious 51-44 inside the beautiful new confines of Hillsdale High School. Brandon, your first time here, my second time here. This place is pretty amazing.
The word that comes to mind is palace.
Palace.
Right? This is a palace, and Hillsdale took care of the basketball early on tonight, played really well early, did enough to hold on in the fourth quarter. Not a great basketball game by either team, I think, if you were to be honest, as a coach, from a coaching perspective for myself. But you see that when you look at the way it broke down, the Falcons with 4 threes, right? Not a ton of threes. They did out-rebound the Raiders 38-27, and that plus 11 margin is huge. On the turnover side, boy, Hillsdale was really efficient early on with only 1 turnover in that first quarter, and then it got away from them, right? I mean, it was 21-7 after the first quarter, Kris. After that, the Raiders won the other 3 quarters. They really were much better, and I think, again, I talk about what happens sometimes when you jump out to a big lead early on. Human nature is to let up a little bit, right? And to think, oh, we got this. We're up 13-0. We're up 21-7. And they were dominant. The Falcons were dominant early on. And whether they just kind of lost their sea legs or whatever happened there, right? They kind of got a little lax. They got a little off balance in what they were trying to do and not staying consistent to their pace. I mean, they only put up 51 points. And really, from a team that was trying to push the ball, you scored 21 in the first quarter, and then you only scored 30 in the other 3 quarters. Now, some of that is an adjustment by the Raiders, and they did a good job of trying to slow the outlet passes and doing a good job of kind of, attacking the rebounders and keeping the Falcons from hitting those quick outlet passes and pushing the ball down court.
Well, our spotlight players were the bigs on both sides, and for Columbia, it was Justin Smith, comes in averaging 16 and 11 boards. Yeah. He had 11 points. He didn't really catch fire. He had 11 points in total, 9 of those in the second half. And then on Hillsdale's side, I'd have to give Brady Krischbaum the win on that 1-on-1 matchup. He ends the night with 10 points, had a load of boards, 5 blocks, and really, in my view, got the best of Smith on the other side.
Agreed. Smith hit a couple of threes from outside that were big. That kind of was part of Columbia's comeback and putting them back in the ball game. But I will say, realistically, Krischbaum was impressive inside. He can go with either hand, right, left. He's got a nice interior game. He does a good job of crashing the boards. He is the key. And at this size, this level, they have an opportunity to make a run. This team has some talent. They've got some pieces, parts. The one thing, they have to continue to work on, obviously, is their perimeter shooting and getting a little extra. They ran some really nice plays tonight for Lowe and Ferguson. I think there was a couple of opportunities there tonight that he missed a couple shots that they ran some plays for him. But I was impressed with the way Coach Ferguson's guys ran. You see Krischbaum going right, going left. He's got good footwork inside. He got really good position down low. And I think that's where you talk about him kind of being really good tonight against Smith. It's because he was able to use that backside and use his frame to really create a lot of space and get himself the ball down lower than what the Raiders wanted him to get the ball.
We really saw 2 Hillsdale teams tonight, in my thought. In that first quarter, we talked about him firing on all cylinders. Yeah. Ferguson was running the point guard up and down the floor. We talked about that in the pregame. Yeah. They want to play their style of basketball, which seems like it's everybody's style anymore, which is maximize the possessions, run up and down the floor. And when the ball's in his hands and he's the floor general, it looks really good and really clean. And then they got away from that a little bit, in my view, and changed their pace of play a little bit, and it looked like that on the scoreboard as well.
I mean, and again, you have to be able to win games in multiple ways. Sometimes it's with pace. Sometimes it's when the other team dictates the tempo a little bit and it gets slowed down. You can win pretty, you can win ugly. It doesn't matter as long as you win, right? And Coach Ferguson, I'm sure, is pretty happy that he comes out of here with a win tonight against a team that came in, even. It played pretty well lately, and a streaky Columbia team, but the Hillsdale Falcons come out on a Tuesday night. Is it Tuesday, right? I think, on a Tuesday night with a win.
Remember, snowy, blustery, cold outside of Hayesville.
And there's probably
Tuesday
a little bit, right, and you came out with a great start after playing 2 really good teams, against Norway and Smithville. And so you come out with a win after those 2. Hats off. A big win here for the Falcons tonight.
That's Brandon Wells. I'm Kris Mowry. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be back with our tonight's MVP on the OH Report right after this.
Travis, what's up?
Oh, not much. What's that sound?
Just working on some long overdue improvements here.
Whoa.
Fit for a Hall of Famer. Hi, I'm Joe Baylog. Tune into The Joe Show every Wednesday night here on the OH Report.
Fickes Furniture, celebrating 100 years in the furniture business, displaying all the latest styles by manufacturers such as Bassett, Flex Steel, Mohawk Flooring, Dutch Craft Bedding, and more. With free delivery setup and removal, make your next movie night comfortable with Fickes Furniture. Quality furniture at an affordable price. Visit our Jeromesville location or visit us online at fickesfurniture.com.
Tonight's Raiders Dairy Bar MVP for the Hillsdale Falcons is none other than freshman, I'm sure that doesn't happen often, Lowen Ferguson, 15 points. You're 5 of 5 from the stripe tonight. That's got to be getting old hat for you, man. As a freshman, you're having great game after great game.
Yeah, I think it just comes from having trust in my teammates and coaches day in and day out for me to go out and perform.
What was the key to the game in your estimation? Obviously, your dad's a head coach, so basketball doesn't stop for you when you leave practice or you're driving home with him after practice. You're always talking about the game, I'm sure.
Yeah.
But what was the idea for you personally, the key to the game that would make you guys successful tonight?
I thought the key to the game tonight was when we came out and punched them early. I think they kind of sat down off that. We went on a 16-0 run. I don't know exactly, but I thought we came out with energy, and that's what really kind of sealed the game.
16-0 run. It's 21-7 first quarter lead you guys had. And then, ironically, I just told your dad this, and he said, well, don't tell me that stuff. Let me watch it for myself. But Columbia battles back, to their credit, to win the second, third, and fourth quarter.
Yeah, I thought we kind of let up a little bit. And thankfully, we had that run in the beginning. But I thought we did a good job at not letting them have too big of a run to really get back into it. We kind of maintained that 8 to 10 point lead the whole game.
You know, you were getting open from, shooting twos. You knocked down a couple threes. You were 5 of 5, as mentioned, from the stripe. But I noticed you were trying to feed Kris every time and get the ball in there and let him go one-on-one against Justin Smith, the big on the other side for Columbia. Was that the game plan, too?
Yeah, that's the game plan. He's our dominant big man. We're going to feed him every single chance we get. And I I love playing with him, and he's always been, every time I get it to him, he does something good with it. He passes, he scores, so yeah, that was the game plan tonight.
Tonight was big to get a win after back-to-back losses against Smithville and then Norwayne, which Norwayne seems to be a juggernaut in the Wayne County League. It seems like year in, year out, they're really good. You're going to get another crack at those guys coming up, but you've got Doughton and Rittman coming up. But to sandwich that, you know, couple losses with a win tonight, you get 2 more conference games coming up. You got to be looking forward to those.
Yeah, this was a big win tonight to get us back in the win column. And now we got to come here, get a win Friday, and then we got 2 back-to-back games versus Doughton. So those are going to be big games for us in the league.
Did you think that as a freshman coming in that you were going to be looked upon as being a scorer like you've become for this Falcon roster?
I knew I'd have the trust of my teammates, and I was just going to go out and play my game, whether that's passing some nights, steals, defense, and tonight it might have been scoring. But just as long as I have the trust of my teammates, I just go out and play my game, and whatever happens, happens.
Here's the best point of the night. You get to look right there in that camera, and you get to shout out whoever you want.
I'd like to shout out my family, my coaches, and my teammates.
Mom. You got to shout out Mom.
Oh, yeah, and my mom. I love her.
Welcome back to Hillsdale High School. Hillsdale victorious over the Columbia Raiders 51-44. I'm Kris Mowry. That's Brandon Wells. BW, we do this every time we're on air together. It's called BW's Final Takes. No different tonight. What do you think here as we wrap up?
It wasn't pretty, but it doesn't matter. The first quarter was a tremendous display of basketball from the Falcons. And that's the sort of effort that obviously you're not going to beat teams 21-7 every quarter, right? But you just have to figure out a way to replicate that and give yourselves an opportunity to come out and play well and keep that pace. And Lowen Ferguson, man, his interview shows maturity beyond his years for a freshman. That kid has so much potential to get even better in the next 3.5 years. And as a guy who's coaching, a guy who played point guard, I mean, the sky is the limit for him. But the rest of this team, sky's the limit as well for them, Kris.
For Brandon Wells, producer Adam Thompson, cameraman
Shane
Young. First time I met him, he did a great job. I'm Kris Mowry. Take us home, BW.
God bless, Godspeed, and go Falcons!